Welcome to this week's Dunlop Motorcycle Tires Track Conditions Report here from Houston, Texas. And I'm with the six-time champion Brock Glover. And Brock, here we are. This is the final dome we'll be in, and this is the final Triple Crown of 2019.
Absolutely. This is the last chance we have to control the weather, and it's going to be perfect in here, as we know. The dirt here in Houston is really, really good. This is some of the best dirt we've had for the Supercross tracks. I mean, Houston's always had a long history from way back days in the Astrodome, where they have the over-under jumps just like they have here, old school, and they've got great dirt. So those two things have not changed in Houston, but this stadium certainly changed. The Energy Stadium is a great big dome, and I'm looking for some fun, fantastic racing.
Yeah, unlike the one where we race next door, they still have it up, that Astrodome. But I want to talk about that sand, because a lot of people think, oh, sand is sand. Well, no, you got your coarse sand, medium, fine, and I think we got fine here in Houston, Texas. Absolutely.
I mean, pure motocross fans can think about the World Championship races where they race in the Netherlands or they might race in Belgium. That's kind of that bottomless sand. Or if you go to the north, maybe in Sweden or Finland, it's kind of like the sand we have in America, what we'd like to think about with the Southwick tracks. But this here is like a fine silt sand. It's kind of a river bottom sand, and it's going to be constantly moving. This isn't something that a berm's going to pack down and they're going to be able to stay in it. So that's going to be a tough section, because you're certainly not going to set up your tires. You're not going to run an MX-12 kind of a scoop tire, you know, because the rest of the track, but that would be the best tire choice in that sand. So the guys have to compromise a little bit, get back on the seat a little bit, make sure the front end doesn't dive and tuck in there. But I'm looking for a lot of passing and a lot of mistakes to happen in that section.
And something else I noticed, I see the sand mixed into some of the soil on the other side of the track. I don't know if they're trying to dry it out or whatever, but this track will rut up, but never the ruts that we see in Indianapolis and other tracks.
No, it's more of a little bit of a Texas adobe clay, and then when they mix that sand in there, it allows it to hold moisture and have a little bit softer so it doesn't get really hard packed. But this is the kind of, I don't know about you, growing up in California like I did, this is the kind of dirt that I just loved.
The other thing I love, the starting line, it's a little bit short, but it's not a 180, it's got that kind of little turn. And then half of that first obstacle is cut down to nothing. The other one they got to deal with, it's a little bit higher.
Yeah, it's always difficult. This is just a little bit less than a 90-degree first corner, as you mentioned. And, you know, coming into some obstacles, you don't want to make it too difficult, because you want to let the riders get separated. And then it goes into a sharp 180 and then into a long set of whoops. And I think that's going to really help separate the riders, and they'll be a little bit safer and not worry about people, you know, falling, getting into crashes.
All right, well, you heard it from Brock Glover. That's it for the Dunlop Motorcycle Tires Track Conditions Report here in Houston, Texas, NRG Stadium.